Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsockеtradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is Coffee Ann for New Year's Eve here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. Nice to have you along with us at the Coffee Ann table. We'll say good morning to Linda Tebow. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning.
And former mayor of the town of Cumberland, Bill Murray's here. Hi, Bill.
Good morning.
And Dave Richards is here. Hi, Dave.
I'm Ed Carew. I'm sitting in Ed's chair today.
Ed cannot make it in today. We hope Ed should be able to make it next week. But Ed Carew and the Carew Investment Group are the sponsors of the first segment of Coffee Ann.
Integrity, trust, service. 3 words that sum up what you can expect from the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Mendon Road in Cumberland, Rhode Island. Established in 1987, we've been helping local investors to build wealth and guide them through their golden years of retirement using quality stocks of companies that you know, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We also use investment-grade bonds and low-cost exchange-traded funds. To find out more about our services and for a quality conservative approach to investing, call us at 765-8880. Integrity, Trust, Service. The Carew Investment Group. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Coffee Ann on ON Radio, and Dave is here because he's got a little milk fund.
I'll leave you guys to your chatting
to pass along.
in just a few moments, but we had some important things to talk about. Denise, can I have that updated list of pickup and pays, please? Thank you. Denise was just walking by the door, and how convenient can that be? Mm-hmm. But we have milk fund business to take care of this morning, Joe. Some very happy milk fund business to take care of, as we have check from Piet Jewelers, now of course located at Pulaski Boulevard in Bellingham, and you know that the Battery Man always donates $1 to the milk fund for each of the batteries that they replace in the watches in December. And here we have it. Batteries 161 were replaced during December. And then, of course, Roland likes to even things off because he hates odd numbers. So he made it 175. Roland, I'm sorry, 175 is an odd number.
Odd number,
yeah. You'll have to make it 176. No. Very, very pleased. Thank you very much. And thanks so much to this check for the milk fund for $175 from Roland Piet and the folks, all the little Piets who aren't little anymore, at Piet Jewelers. I'll tell you, very, very, very much appreciated. Also in the door yesterday, the fabulous Denise received a cash donation of $110, and it says here, from the Farleys. Very nice. A bunch of people heard our announcements yesterday and did the pick up and pay thing. We have heard from 4 of those, actually 5 of those of 7, and we're still looking for Yvonne P. to drop by today. I guess it's 3 again. Pauline S. and Al T. to drop by today, and I think Jen A., that's not for an auction item, that's for the $1 per call on the 24th of December. Jen A. Looking forward to seeing you all before 4 o'clock today. Thank you very much, Joe.
All right there, Dave. Thanks. All right, things that are going on this New Year's Eve. I want to get Linda and Bill's impressions or your thoughts.
What do you think? Should we have another year or should we not have another year? I mean, should we put this to a vote? Is this happening far too often?
Yes, every 365.
That's right. Keeps changing.
But
would we feel any younger if we just didn't bother changing the calendar?
Okay, Dave, you can leave now.
Yeah. I thought he was only going to
just trying to help you.
He was only going to do
just trying to help you.
Thoughts on the passing of Jimmy Carter?
Oh.
Did you ever have a chance to meet him when he came to the States?
No.
I never did.
No,
I never did.
I didn't.
I don't know if you were involved in politics at that time, late 70s?
No, I wasn't. No.
Neither were you, Bill, at the time.
No.
So.
Yeah,
you were
I never
either.
met him.
No, I never met him.
But not part of the JCs or anything like that?
No, I was down when I was the state president of the J.C.'s. Nixon was in office.
Okay.
That was 72.
Yeah.
And I knew about him, as many people did, good, bad, or indifferent. He had a rocky kind of if you look at it, he had a rocky tenure of his 4 years. He was
Yes,
only,
A lot happened. A lot of bad
and-
stuff happened.
and he was, I guess, if you really look at it, I think you really have to look at the fact that he was a very easygoing, I guess, a wonderful man, because afterwards, that's
yeah.
where he made his name.
He made his name
Is that
after
right?
after
And,
his term.
You know, building these houses.
Yeah.
I happened to
Yeah.
watch a
Yeah.
segment last night, and people that were thanking him for these houses that that he and his wife built, helped build, and it was and they were saying that this never got off the ground until he got involved.
Until he did it. Wow.
And once he got involved,
Yeah.
it skyrocketed.
Right, absolutely.
Thousands and thousands. It's just amazing. But that's where I don't think his legacy was really involved.
Not his presidency,
no,
no. But I think he was always a gentleman and a gentleman.
Yes.
Yeah, and
And a man of honor. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yes,
was.
absolutely.
I remember everybody used to refer to him as the peanut farmer.
Yeah.
Well, everybody
Yeah,
did.
he was the peanut farmer,
Yep.
and kind of
They
teased
still
him.
do.
Well, and
Yeah.
teased him a bit about that, but.
Yep.
But he was in the Navy.
Yeah, exactly,
So
exactly.
he did more than just manage the peanut farm.
exactly. No, I mean, basically, he was a good man, but
Yeah.
I think his presidency was a little lackluster.
And then Reagan came in and beat
Yeah.
him. Reagan beat
Reagan
him.
beat him.
Handily.
Yeah, that's
Big time,
exactly. So
yeah.
I think that kind of sums up
Yeah.
what the general feelings were. I have to be honest. I think I was probably too busy with 5 kids that I paid attention as I do now.
Right.
Because, I know spots of it, and the fact that Reagan beat him badly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I knew a few things like the hostage situation.
That was
the
big.
hostages, that was a big
That
one.
was a
Yeah,
big,
big one.
And the botched rescue.
absolutely.
Right.
Which
Yeah,
really
and,
hurt him.
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but he never got a footing.
No,
At the
no,
4 years,
no.
he took a lot of if you go back even at this time of Biden,
Yeah.
they kept saying, "Well, Biden's worse than Carter," and I don't think that's a real good. That's not a good thing to have out there floating.
Yeah, no, that's not good at all. But it's nice that he's remembered for doing
Right.
good. I
Good.
mean, he got the Peace
Yes.
Prize. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good, and it's nice that he's remembered and held in high regard for that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see a lot of people coming out when he's for the funeral.
I'm-
He's gonna
I- oh,
line
I'm
the state
sure.
at the
Yeah.
rotunda.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure.
that'll be a
I'm
big
sure.
deal.
Yeah.
Well, he's a former president.
Yeah,
You
that,
know,
exactly.
so
No
that'd
matter
be
what,
big.
he was a president.
exactly. You and
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I think you will see.
All right.
Quite at the 9th of January
Right.
in Washington, if I'm
Yeah.
correct on that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And we mentioned yesterday how he'll always be the right as of right now. He's the answer to a trivia question. Oldest living president that the United States
Yeah.
has ever had.
100 years
No,
old.
Made it to 100.
100 years.
And they say
First one. Wow.
they said, excuse me, they said he's been active up till the last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
went into hospice about a year ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
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 Well,
Yeah.
when he went in there, that was. But up to that point, he was still.
He
Still.
was still, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
He
amazing.
was out there. He was campaigning for all the Democrats.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it hurts to be a peanut farmer.
I guess
I
not.
guess it's longevity. I'm going to try a peanut farm in Cumberland.
Well, I
Maybe
think
he'll-
the loss of his wife
Yes.
kind of.
It was about 4
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
No, 90. It's longer than that.
No, it's not
96?
that
No,
long
I don't
ago.
think it was that long.
No, it
Maybe I
wasn't.
got my dates
I-
mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
want to say a couple of years.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I think,
Yeah, she was 96. I
Yeah.
think. Okay.
Mm.
And but just looking
they-
back at his presidency, he had just the funniest family. And people used to have such a good time with that.
Yeah.
Well, there was his mother and his brother.
Brother Billy,
It was
Yeah,
just
right, right.
Billy Carter.
You don't remember it. It was just such a weird,
Yeah.
funny time.
Yeah,
This-
yeah,
I don't know what he did. Did he work at the farm? Or did he just drink?
Who, Billy?
Yeah.
I think he just drank.
And
ate peanuts.
That's right. That's all he did.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, if we lived off his brother, so
That's right.
okay,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. And we brought up yesterday. I don't know if you guys remember this, and he's debating Ronald Reagan for the presidency for the election.
Yeah.
And the question went to Carter about it was a very important, very logical question about dealing with foreign countries and things like this. And the first thing he said was, "Well, I was talking with my daughter Amy about this the other night," and I said, you shouldn't have said that.
Boy.
And Reagan, jumped on it like crazy, and they ran with him like, no, you should
Doesn't
never.
that sound familiar?
Yes, it does. Of course, Amy was 10 at the time, and that was the problem.
Yeah.
Do you always discuss high-level
With your
discussions of foreign leaders
Well,
with your 10-year-old daughter?
You know what they say, sometimes out of the mouths of babes,
Comes
you
a
know,
lot
you
of
learn
things.
a lot of good stuff,
I-
right?
yeah.
But I didn't realize he had 4 kids.
Yeah.
You
I
always
never-
heard about her.
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
Because she was so young.
I didn't know he had
Yeah.
4.
He had four kids, and
Yeah.
and then what I remember most about her
Was
is
she the
Amy,
youngest?
She was the youngest.
Youngest?
Yeah.
And Amy went to Brown University.
Yes.
Yeah.
For 1 year, and then they asked her to leave. And they said it had nothing to do with her grades. We just don't want her here anymore. I said something's going on
Something's-
at Brown.
Yeah.
Well,
'cause
you
and
know-
her, and I go, this is so strange.
Well, you know,
President's
And she never
daughter.
came, and she left and never came back.
I didn't realize that
I-
part, but
I
you
don't
know
know
what
that.
might have happened is the security that they had to put around her.
Yep.
I mean, I'm guessing, strictly guessing.
Well, she
and-
was also, but she did a lot of protesting and all the things they do down there
well,
at Brown, and
that's
she
what
was.
they
That,
do.
Did she fit in?
And
I
then
don't know
she
why
did
she
fit
right,
in.
exactly,
Why did-
exactly.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of protesting in those times.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, there
Yeah.
was. Yes.
And because of her name, so she was at the
Sure.
top.
Yeah,
Amy.
of
It was
course.
Amy Cotter and everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
were protesting at Brown University.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was big. They said, well, it's not because she failed, but we just, we don't want to hear anymore.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
well, something else.
But you're right
I
about
never found out about
security,
it.
though.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, I'm sure
You know,
Secret
that-
Service
that-
were there.
yeah.
Well, they
That
had to
disrupts
be
stuff.
so, especially if she's protesting.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And they're probably blocking
problem.
everything, and they
Yeah.
you can't move. You
Yeah.
know, even though one of my grandsons just graduated with his master's from Brown in June, and he said even now because they were having quite a bit of the protesting on the square or whatever the
Yeah.
green or whatever they call it
Yeah.
there, and he says it blocks everything.
Oh, I'm sure it does, yeah.
Even trying to get to classes.
Yeah,
so.
it's
And that's
wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it is exactly.
And
Well,
that's
you
why
remember
they
they
do it.
arrested. If you remember,
Yes.
they arrested about 15 of them.
And
Yeah.
said, we're
And,
about to throw
right.
you out of school.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So that might have been.
That might have been part of it back
Go
then,
back to it,
so.
you know.
Yeah.
But so Jimmy Carter was 100 years
Yeah,
old, and
wow.
he will just
Yeah.
maybe in time, more of his legacy of working with Habitat
Yeah.
for Humanity.
Well, I
will
think that's
overshadow his presidency.
the thing is, though, I think to be remembered like that, the couple, both of them, because she was
Oh,
very
yeah.
involved as well.
Always
to
together,
be remembered like
right.
that, I wouldn't mind being remembered like that
Yeah.
at all, even though, all right, his presidency was a little shaky, but,
Yeah.
well, it was the things that were
He did
happening,
a lot of
too.
good. He did a lot of good.
But, to be remembered as two people that really did a lot.
But
Get
anybody,
a Peace Prize.
Yeah.
Well-
I mean, to get the Nobel Prize for Peace, that's...
but if anybody, whoever was president
Yeah.
from 76 to
Yeah.
80, would have been dealing with a lot of
Well, that's what I mean. It was troubled
awful
times.
stuff that
it was
going on
it
at
was
the time.
stuff
The
that was,
bicentennial was nice, of course, but
yeah, but yeah, it was
inflation and oil
a lot
crisis
of,
and
yeah,
and-
a lot. I remember, I wasn't in politics then, but I was working at Fogarty Hospital, and I was fortunate because I worked in a hospital. I didn't have to wait in those gas lines.
oh really?
Right, they let people that worked in the first responders, nurses, doctors.
So what'd you do? Show your ID? And
Yeah, you
got
could
to the
get,
front of the gas line?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that-
yeah.
and-
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I
remember.
I remember coming in from Boston
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
literally crawling into a gas station,
Yeah.
just coming off the 128,
Yeah.
the old 128,
Yeah.
and
Just making it?
just making it.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
and if the line, and how I couldn't tell you how many times I've got out of the car because I was young at the time, helped
Pushing
to
it?
push a car to the gas. So I wasn't the only one that
Yeah.
just made it. And if I remember, first it wasn't only the lines, but they only gave you couldn't fill up.
If I
If I
Right,
remember,
it was only
something.
just-
I
yeah.
want to say 10,
Yeah.
but
Or maybe
it
10.
could have been 5.
It
Yeah.
wasn't a lot.
If I
yeah.
remember, but that was, oh boy, that was nerve-wracking, especially if you're coming from
In the-
Boston.
One from Boston,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And you had the odd even on the license plates.
That's correct.
So
Yeah.
if it was your day, you couldn't
Nope.
get
Yeah.
gas.
So you better be
Wow.
prepared, and you
Yes.
had to live with it. It's
Yeah.
you know.
And it lasted. It seemed like it lasted a long time. Am
I don't
remembering
remember.
right?
No, I have to agree with you.
Yeah,
I think
it
it was.
was.
It seemed like a long time.
It seemed like
Yeah.
a long
You know,
time.
but-
Yeah. Well, especially we were used to.
Yeah.
And
All
I'm,
is
Maybe
good
on.
with the world.
no, and I'm glad to hear that they took care of nurses
They
and
did. They did.
first responders,
Yeah, they did.
which you
Well,
know.
I mean, we had to get there.
Yeah.
no,
Right,
you know.
Yeah.
Well, the problem was I was 10, 11, 12,
Yeah.
and
Well, you
getting
were- you
getting
were just a
gasoline was
baby. You
was
were
just
just
not
a
a priority
baby.
in my
You-
life.
You could care less.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was Dad that
along
stayed
with
in
my
line.
kid. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Where's Dad? Getting gas. All right.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a break here in the Coffee Hand program. More is coming your way, and this portion of Coffee Hand has been sponsored by the Carew Investment Group.
They say in business you don't last very long if you don't know what you're doing. And if that's the case, we must know a thing or two at the Carew Investment Group because we've been in the business since 1987, helping people just like you with their investments. At the Carew Investment Group, we employ a conservative approach to client portfolios by using only the best quality companies available, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We look for opportunities that we expect to go up in value not every day, but over time. And we take our responsibility seriously and always place our clients first in any investment decision. If you'd like to know more or would like a free portfolio review of your current holdings, you can call Paul or Ed at 765-8880. Our office is located at 2190 Mendon Road, Suite 3 in Cumberland, Rhode Island, and we'd love to meet you and see if we can help you with your investing journey. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Here's a toast to the future, a toast to the past, and a toast to our friends far and near. The past, a bright dream. May our friends remain faithful and clear. This New Year's toast brought to you by Baraducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center, 185 Spring Street, Woonsocket. Visit providencecremation.com. The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
We're local and live at 99.5.
All right, it is Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callan here with Bill Murray and Linda Tebow. And anyway, and I found out yesterday. I'll take all the kudos you want to send my way, but it's really not me. But my daughter got her grades for her first semester at college, straight A's.
Okay.
4.0 GPA. I'm like, wow.
Oh,
I think that is
congrats.
fantastic. But why don't you tell the audience what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I put it out on Facebook last night.
Right.
Did you?
And so Bill, being the funny man that he is,
Oh well.
must taste after her mother. And
Oh,
she
we know.
does.
We know. All that. See, that wasn't
she-
being funny. It was
she,
being
truthful.
very honest and direct.
All right, she does get her intelligence from her
That's-
mother.
Isn't it nice though? Because in your case, your daughter, my granddaughter came home with she goes to FIA with great marks, and one of them came home from Mount St. Charles.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to and they're beaming to tell you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Very excited. She was able to check it online yesterday, and so that's the whole dean's list, the whole
How wonderful.
whole
huh?
9 yards.
Good
I'm
for
like,
her. Good for
I said
her.
the only thing it said you have to have a 3.3, you had to have nothing incomplete, and you had to have taken at least 12 credits.
Yeah.
I said, how many credits did you take? And she said 13. I'm like,
Wow.
okay, you made it. I said, what are you taking next semester? 15. Okay, good. So you'll be all
Does
set
she
then,
like it?
so. Yeah, and enjoy. Out of the 4, well, one class was a pass-fail, kind of, and so once you pass, it's an A, and that was more of a. It's a bizarre class that everyone's got to take at Bridgewater State, and it's get to know Bridgewater State.
Oh.
Okay, just go around and go to the different buildings and, I don't know, meet people, I guess. And so that was pretty easy. But the other 4 classes, she liked all her teachers, wasn't too crazy about one of them. So maybe she won't take
That's not
that
bad.
one.
That's
No,
not bad
no.
also.
And I said, well, that's kind of par for the course. You're not going to like
Sure, you're not
everybody.
gonna like 'em all,
So it's
no.
just
Well,
the way
she's
it goes.
lucky. PC has that Western Civic that the kids almost have heart attacks over.
Really.
Oh yeah, they have to take it.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
2-year.
All right. And so we had, besides Jimmy Carter passing away, before that was Greg Gumbel passed away from CBS
Yes.
Sports. I'm
Great,
like, uh-oh.
great sportscaster.
I said,
Yeah.
well, there's
Yeah.
2. I said, these things come in 3s. And didn't it happen yesterday? Actress Linda Lavin passed
Yes,
away that
yeah.
played Alice
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
TV sitcom
Yeah,
Alice.
Alice.
She,
So
she
there's
passed away. So there's our 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
And I lost a very good friend
Did
from
you?
Cumberland who was the assistant coach of soccer for the girls' soccer. He's well known in the soccer arena. Ed Lindsay, great guy, only 68 years old.
Wow.
Over the weekend with
Young,
a heart
yeah.
attack. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right. Well, with the new year coming up, we got new laws going to effect tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One of them is minimum wage in Rhode Island goes to $15 an hour.
Prices go up.
Prices go up starting tomorrow. is,
Right,
is,
exactly.
is you're right.
No, exactly.
And what's weird is there will be, if you vape, there'll be new taxes on vape products. Okay? But then all the flavored vapes,
Yeah.
they become illegal
They're banned, yeah.
in the state,
Yeah.
which is odd, I think.
Well, I think
Why don't
those
we
are the
get more-
ones that are targeting kids so much.
I know, but adults
know?
adults smoke it too.
Yeah.
And so now they'll just be, guess what? They're going to run to Massachusetts.
Yeah, I know.
And Massachusetts is going to get the tax money.
Vaping is not good for your health.
I understand that. I get
It is
I
not.
get it,
People
Linda.
think it is, and it's not. It is not.
Have you seen? There's a good PSA going on right now on television.
What is it?
It's talking about there's a very fragile ecosystem that is being polluted every day, and the ecosystem is your lungs.
Your lungs. You get pumped on lungs.
And you're getting if you vape, you're
Yeah.
getting pumped in with
Yeah.
with who knows what you're getting
Chemicals.
pumped in with.
Yeah,
and so
chemicals.
and they show a kid, well,
Yeah.
not a kid, teenager really, vaping, and say you're wrecking your
Your lungs.
ecosystem inside your body.
You are, yeah.
So
Well, you know, one of the students that I precept, because I precept the senior nursing students at
what,
Rhode
what
Island
does
College.
that what does that mean? Precept.
Well, mentor.
Okay.
Yeah.
They follow me around.
Okay.
You know, see what nurses in the community
Right.
do.
Okay.
Wellness, public health, that kind of stuff.
What they really do.
And,
What they really doing.
Yeah,
This present for
but
profession.
he chose, because he actually was assigned to a school district in Woonsocket,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a whole presentation on the pitfalls and
How
the,
bad.
how bad it is. And I learned from this kid, because I didn't realize it was as bad as it is, because I said, well, I quit smoking and I'm vaping instead.
Because it's okay.
No, it's and he actually and I think it was a good thing, because he was very young looking. Well, he's young, you know, he's a
You
student.
relate to the
Yeah,
kids.
He's a student.
Yeah.
He's a senior, but he's still a kid.
Yeah.
And so he did that presentation in the schools, you know,
Uh-huh.
and you know, and he's a nice young guy, cute and everything, and. You know, so
Maybe
I said,
they'll
well
listen
this,
to him.
well, this is what I mean. I to be hearing it from somebody kind of close to your age.
Yeah.
You know,
As opposed to an authority figure.
yeah, and then actually, I ended up taking him. You know, I was doing the cable TV show,
Yeah.
and he came and he did it there too. So you
All
know,
right,
he did
well,
a good
good.
job. But I learned from, you know how you learn from your students. I learned
What
from my
did
students.
the kids learn?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the-
that's,
that's
the
the key.
thing. That's the thing. But they say, oh, you know. But I mean, I see adults saying too,
Oh,
I
don't worry about
I
it, yeah.
quit smoking, and I'm vaping. Well,
Wait another 5, maybe 10 years.
Yeah,
and
it's just as bad,
of
if not
diseases
worse,
that,
you know?
Oh,
that these people will
absolutely.
have is going to be astonishing.
Yeah, you know.
One of the other laws going to effect, and our own Melissa Murray helped get this passed through. I think she was the sponsor of this bill. Health insurers will, nope, not that one. New law will prevent debt collectors from reporting medical debts to credit bureaus. So if you
I
owe
saw
money
that,
to
yeah.
the doctors, I guess, they cannot report that
Hospital
to credit
bills,
bureaus
yeah.
to wreck your credit.
Wow.
I said, well, that's a good thing. So
It is a good.
especially if you go something happens and you're in the hospital for a while, and you got thousands of dollars to pay.
Doesn't take. You don't have to be in for a while.
No,
to-
Okay, for a day or two.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So, this will help,
Yeah.
as it
Yeah.
won't get reported to credit bureaus that you owe thousands of dollars to the hospital. So, that's good. Health insurers will be required to cover the full cost of life-saving EpiPens. I know they weren't
That's
covering.
That's a great-
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I've had it in my family.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
son-in-law actually said
Yeah.
he got stung, and
Yeah.
my daughter happened to have it because of her allergies.
Yeah.
And thank God she had it.
Yeah.
And there'll be a $150 cap on a 30-day supply of certain drugs for rare medical conditions. It's kind of vague. They don't say what these actual drugs are, but step in the right direction.
Probably they're looking at
None of that.
for the diabetes.
That doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
it's like
Yeah.
And so Health Source RI is extending the call centers for those that were affected by the cyber attack, and 650,000 people affected.
and they've already hit.
And
they
they're
finally,
starting-
They just
They put
just
them
hit
out
for the
there.
first time.
Yeah,
They
they
did
put
put
it
it.
out
They
there.
called the bluff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
they put it out on what's called the
They
dark
put-
web.
The dark
Yeah.
web. Yeah.
You
and
don't want to
it's-
be out on the dark web.
and it's and it's frustrating on the I would think on the governor's part
Yeah.
because there's really nothing you can do. He's
No.
Yeah.
he's caught in the middle because the company that's involved with this
That's that Deloitte.
Deloitte
Yeah.
has to control it. I think I told a story on this show that our police department got hit back when I was the mayor, and we wouldn't pay the ransom, and we
How much did they want? Do you remember?
I don't, but
Okay.
it was a sizable amount,
okay.
and we called in the people that did our IT did a wonderful job to correct it, and block everything. Because if you think of it, and with the police, those are some valuable.
It's a lot of information.
Information in there, and you would
course,
know,
yeah.
being a former town
Yeah,
administrator, and even for an administrator or a mayor, you can't get that unless the police chief okays it. If you want to know something on a criminal act or something like that, so it's very, very secured, or should be.
Yeah.
And that was scary, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Is
bet.
that when we got the notice that the ransom request, and we were just very firm about we weren't going to pay it.
Yeah.
And that was way back before it really started like it is
Yeah.
now. Now it's out of. Somebody said too, something just got hacked from China.
Yeah.
the-
On the federal side.
Yeah, federal.
Yeah.
Right, Treasury.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Treasury just got.
It's
Oh, it's awful.
progress. Matter of opinion, not a matter of
Well, I
fact.
don't know about progress, but all right. Other things that are going on, not that this is close by, but someone broke into a liquor store in North Andover, Massachusetts,
Saw that.
and cost $250,000 of lost liquor. Just
Yeah.
smashing the bottles.
They
on
didn't
the
even
ground.
steal them, take them then, but no, they just smashed them.
All the vandalism.
He was trying to cover himself that he was an alcoholic, and the more bottles
Yeah, right. Yeah.
more bottles he broke, the less liquor he could drink.
Good drink. But I mean, that's just plain mean. I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
Well,
you know what I'm
well,
saying?
I happened to run into one of the managing directors from Cumberland the other day. How about Capitol Grill? Did you hear about that one?
Yes.
Homeless man comes in, big guy,
Yeah.
huge actually,
Yeah.
goes into the manager's, it's the combination manager's office and the coat room, locks himself in there, and
Goes through all the coats.
he wrecked the place. $10,000 worth of damage,
Yeah.
and
Really?
they arrested the guy. In fact, he was on television.
I saw him.
Did you
He
see
was
him?
a big
Isn't he
guy. Oh, yeah.
Well, as I say, this friend of mine who's the managing director, happened to run into him at lunch the other day. He was telling me about the story. He said, "Oh my God." I mean, it was out of the blue. The guy walks in, and they kind of knew him as
Yeah.
homeless around the area, and didn't really give. He said, "We always try to treat them. We don't want to trigger them on anything."
Yeah.
And this guy just walked in, locked the door behind him, and
And just wrecked the place. huh?
pulled the ceilings down and broke
Wow.
things. And oh yeah,
I mean, if they're going to steal something that they need for
No,
food.
he was
or
just, yeah.
You know, but they
yeah.
that's just
They would
being-
have given him the food, as he said. We
this is
try
just
to,
destructive.
he said we
Yeah.
try to help them so that
Yeah.
we don't trigger them on something
right,
like this.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's a tough world out there.
Sure is. All right. We did have a standoff in Warwick. Police man barricaded inside his house on
Another
Tiffany
one, huh?
Avenue.
Yeah.
Another one. Yeah, this happened Monday afternoon about 1:30. It all ends well. They did. No one was injured. They were eventually able to convince the suspect to come out of the house, where he was then taken to Kent Hospital.
38 years old.
Evaluation.
I think they said
Is
38.
it 38?
I think they said that.
And they're still saying charges are pending. Okay. He was a potentially armed man who refused to leave. Don't say if he was actually armed or not. Maybe he was. Maybe that's where
Yeah.
the charges are coming from. But
Well, they weren't sure. Connors, who actually is the Cumberland,
Yeah.
Cumberland, he played hockey in Cumberland with my kids, who's the police chief down there. He was on
Okay.
television yesterday, and he said we're investigating because there were rumors that he had a gun, and so
take
that's
that
probably where
seriously.
the charges are coming from.
yep.
Look,
All right.
look at the guy that took a hammer to his wife.
I heard about that out west, right?
Yeah, how
Yeah.
bad was his wife?
She's in critical condition.
She's in critical.
There was another one. This a few days ago. I think it was Florida, where the woman shoots her husband in the face, kills him, puts his body in the closet, goes outside, steals his truck, drives to some lake or something like that, takes the kayak off the truck, starts paddling out in the water, where the cops caught her, trying to make a getaway by kayak.
By kayak.
I go, that's kind of a
Better off
slow
in the
getaway.
Yeah.
But I think she set the truck on fire too.
Oh,
wow.
jeez.
I'm pretty sure she did that as well.
You know, it's
Wow.
this time of year, you know,
It is.
Sets people
that
off, huh?
so many things
Yep.
can, you know,
That's
they're
so true.
fragile people
Yeah.
with demons.
Yeah. All right, more coming up on the Coffee and program. You can call in comments and questions at 766-1240. The time for the weather report being brought to you by Compassion International.
Clouds increase today with a high near 50 degrees and a breeze from the southwest, becoming southeast in the afternoon. Tonight, 100% chance of rain, mainly after 10 p.m., patchy fog after midnight, overnight low of 36. Winds calm, up to 3/4 of an inch of rain is possible overnight tonight. Wednesday, New Year's Day, a chance of rain before noontime, then just tapering off to showers and ending around 3 in the afternoon. Daytime high temperature of 49 degrees with plenty of clouds and an east wind turning northwest later in the morning. Chance of precipitation on New Year's Day is 40%. Thursday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 41. Friday, mostly sunny and 36. Saturday, mostly sunny and 31 for a high. Sunday, mostly sunny skies and 28. And on Monday, mostly sunny with a high at 32.
Outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with the sunny skies, we got 40 degrees. Thousands of kids in poverty have waited over a year for a sponsor. End their wait today. Become a Compassion sponsor. Text radio to 83393. Transforming your house into a home is what they do at Cumberland Kitchen and Bath Design Center. Kitchen trends for 2025 include big color, open shelving, mixed materials, hardware reimagined, keeping it green, and room to gather. Kevin and his crew at Cumberland Kitchen can show you the latest trends and possibly something you have not thought of. Visit CumberlandKitchen.com or stop into the showroom in the McDonald's Plaza on Mendon Road, Cumberland, just off Route 295. Cumberland Kitchen and Bath Design Center.
Rhode Islanders, stay healthy this fall and winter by getting your flu and COVID shots. You can safely get both at the same time. If you have mild symptoms after vaccination, that means the vaccine's working. Your body's learning to fight the virus. The sooner you get your shot, the sooner you're protected. Keeping our small state healthy is a big deal. Call your doctor or pharmacy today or find a clinic at health.ri.gov/vaccine. Brought to you by the Rhode Island Department of Health and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
When you're thinking about a place to go out to eat with your family or the whole gang, or maybe something quieter for just the two of you, head over to ON Radio's website, woonsocketradio.com, and click on the restaurant guide. This gives you a listing of the best restaurants in the area. You can take a look at menus and possibly even make reservations. This is a great resource to see a bunch of restaurants all in one place. Remember, it's woonsocketradio.com and click on Restaurant Guide. And if you own a restaurant that's not already listed, call WOON Radio at 401-762-1240 for information on how your restaurant can be on the Restaurant Guide. Call Joe at 401-762-1240. It is Coffee In here on ON Radio.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir, for joining us. Joe Callan here, along with Linda Tebow, and Bill Murray is here as well. And, not Rhode Island, but in Massachusetts, they continue to make strides in sustainable transportation. Massachusetts remains one of the most bicycle-friendly states in the United States.
Really?
With the end of the year in sight, the state has unveiled 15 miles of new multi-use paths across the state. With the new paths added, Massachusetts is living up to its reputation. It's been ranked the second most bicycle-friendly state by the League of American Bicyclists.
Well, that's
And
good.
Rhode
That's
Island-
amazing with the weather.
And Rhode Island's probably the last.
Well, they don't have any. I don't have the list of
Remember the
states.
big controversy in East Providence?
Yes.
And they finally, didn't they take them down or something?
Yes.
And then even in Providence, when Alorza was in,
Yeah.
he was putting bike paths in everywhere you could
Yep.
turn.
And no one liked it. And,
Well, because you couldn't move.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
they just put a new one in near my home, and it's an old railroad track
Oh, yeah.
that they use that they've turned into a bike path.
Yeah.
And there was one in Mansfield, and then there was a gap in the town of Norton, and then they wanted to hook it up with something in Taunton, and there was a big fight between the town of Norton and the state of Massachusetts
Oh.
over money.
Yeah.
Who's
Who's going to pay?
Who's going to pay
Who's
for
gonna
it?
pay for
And the
it?
town
Well,
said we want
it's-
the state to pay for it, and the state said it's on your land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all yours, so you take care. I don't,
But old
they
railroad-
figured it out.
But old railroad tracks make sense.
Oh yeah.
I get the other problem is like East Providence was taking lanes of travel out of there.
Yeah.
So instead of having say 2 lanes, they were down to 1.
Yeah.
Mm.
And there's 3 bicycles a day going through. You know,
I know, that's not a
I'm
lot.
exaggerating,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Right.
not a lot. You know?
No, exactly.
And they mentioned about the this particular track, and there's a monument put up because it was the train tracks that took soldiers during World War II, got on the train in Mansfield, and took them to Taunton to get on another train to go get
Yeah.
deployed overseas.
Yeah.
And it all started right here. I'm like,
Right,
wow.
right.
Yeah,
That's pretty nice.
That's
that
a
the
good
monument's
use.
there.
That's
And it's
a good reuse
It
of
is a
it.
good. It
Yeah.
is excellent
Yeah.
to reuse. All right, so I need your opinion on this. I read it yesterday, and I went, "What are they doing?" And this is out of the state of Oklahoma. New law starts tomorrow. The governor, his name is Kevin Stitt, Stitt, and has decided that that the kids need a new graduation requirement in order to graduate high school. Not only do you have to pass, you now need one of 3 choices. You need to have been accepted to a college, accepted to a trade school, or join the Army. And I went, so I read it again, and I read it again, and I said, okay, it doesn't say you have to go to college or the trade school. You have to be accepted. So you got to fill out an application, give them $40 or whatever it is
oh,
now,
It's a lot.
and or maybe 100, and send it in just to get accepted, or join them. Really, it's join the military, not just join the Army, and of course, it's getting a lot of pushback because
I would think.
and people. It's the first thing I thought of, and I go, let's say Bill's my uncle, and Bill owns Murray's Funeral Home. I want to join the family business.
Right.
And Bill's going to teach me everything I need to know about how to run this business.
Yeah.
Okay, why am I going to college?
Right.
My uncle's going to teach me how to do this.
Well, if you look at it too, it said. Did it say?
Have you heard about this, by the way?
No, I haven't.
okay,
It doesn't
okay.
But
seem
look
right.
at it. Look at it. A kid that comes out doesn't want to. He wants to work with the stands, and he goes to joins a union,
Right.
electrical union. That's
Oh,
not.
okay,
That's not a
right.
school.
No,
You
it's not.
Do
You're-
that. All
you're-
right.
That was another one. You want to be an
Or
apprentice,
oh yeah. Oh,
an electrical apprentice, or a plumber's
Or a
apprentice.
plumber.
or a plumber, and they,
Yeah.
by the way, end up later on probably making more
Oh,
money than the
tons-
kid that went to
tons of money.
college.
Yes, indeed
Right.
they do. yes,
listen,
indeed they. That's what
You know,
that
one of the
doesn't
worst
seem-
things that we ever did,
Yeah.
and they did it all over, was knock off these work. What do you want to call it? Like Cumberland had that work carpenter shop, a
Yeah.
mechanic
Yes,
where they
yes,
fixed
yes,
automobiles.
Yes, yeah.
That was
Shop,
one of the worst
yeah.
things. Shop.
Shop,
Yeah,
yeah.
and one of the worst things that ever happened.
So the STIT, he goes on to say what they're trying to do. And where is it? He stated that his goal was to, quote, turn classrooms into career launch pads. He doesn't want you coming out of high school
And doing nothing.
and doing nothing.
I agree with that
Well,
part.
that-
Well,
yeah.
that part
Yeah.
is true.
But they're
Y-
mandating what they have.
Yeah, and people say,
that's-
I thought we lived in a free country.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're
Yeah.
telling us what we have to
That's
do.
the other way.
Um,
But I think the idea of what he's trying to do
Yes.
is a good one.
Yeah.
Don't come out and just become a bum.
We want
Right.
to prepare every student for success in the workforce. Okay.
Yeah, no, and that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That
That's
part's a
very
good
good
idea.
idea.
He said he'd admitted on his post that there would be reformed high school graduation requirements, but said those allowed greater flexibility to study on a college or career readiness track. You have to have some kind of plan post graduation to get a great job. Now this would have affected my wife, who did not go to college and did not go to trade school. She graduated high school and immediately got a full-time job working in the corporate office of Cumberland Farms,
Oh, okay.
and moved up the ranks.
Yeah.
Just on her work ability.
Right.
Became an office manager in
She's
human resources.
one of hundreds and hundreds of people that did that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
but in this case, she wouldn't have been allowed to get her high school diploma,
Right.
Because she didn't pick one of the three.
Right.
Yeah.
She didn't bother. She knew she wasn't going to college, couldn't afford it, didn't bother applying, and so she just, I
there-
know I'm going to work. And
Now
she
there's
went
the
to work.
key because it happens to so many not being able to afford it.
Yeah.
Even if they want to go, they can't do it. And that's why some of these things, we were involved, a bunch of the mayors back in 2016 about the community college,
Yeah.
sending the kids free.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a great idea because there's so many that can't afford it. Give them a chance to,
Yeah.
I talked about it with her afterwards, and I said, you must have had the worst guidance counselor in the history of guidance counselors. I go, because she should have gone to college.
Yeah.
She actually thought about becoming an elementary school teacher. I said, you would have been able to go
Right.
for free, because unfortunately her father passed away when she was a senior in high school. I go, so a single mom who was raising her older sister was an adult.
She could have
A single mom was raising an
was help.
underage child.
There was
I said
help.
you
Yeah,
would have
she
gotten
would-
all
she would
the
have had-
financial aid
Yeah.
you needed
Yeah.
to go, but no one told her this,
No.
and she just wasn't aware of it. So she goes, "No, college is too expensive," and that she didn't fill out didn't fill out any application. I
Right.
said you would have gone for free,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah,
no one
you're,
ever- no
you're
one ever-
right.
no one ever told her.
No guidance.
none at all.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad for the so she just went right into the workforce.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so that's good. So I don't agree with what they're doing in
No.
Oklahoma.
No.
I'm sure some of the kids out there aren't too happy about it either. At least it doesn't say you have to attend college or trade school. You just have to be accepted. So go put in your application to the University of Oklahoma
That doesn't make sense.
No,
and just
it
say
does.
and show your acceptance letter to
Yeah.
the school. I'm in, so I get to graduate, and,
then
I'm
become
not
a-
I'm
and
not
then
going.
become a bum.
Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
I go. I'm not going, but I've been accepted.
Yeah, no, that's not.
Yeah.
That's no.
So what he was trying to do, he waters it down. Really,
Yeah.
If you look at it,
Yeah.
it's.
And maybe
I think the overall principle is excellent.
yes, we don't want you
try-
to come out and become homeless.
But you got to add to this.
Yes, and you can't put these parameters
Yeah.
on it. And
Does it
just
say? Now is this coming up for a vote at their?
I think it's going into law.
Oh.
Is it?
Yeah, in the new year.
How? Well, somebody must have voted.
Many were incredulous when they learned of the new Oklahoma law, not
Okay.
understanding how
So it's
students
been-
could be mandated to either further their education or join the military. So yeah, this is going
Yeah,
into
going into
effect
law. Wow.
in Oklahoma.
Wow.
So pay attention out there in Oklahoma. You're being mandated of what to do.
Now, in Oklahoma, you have a lot of these Indian reservations.
Yeah.
And I'm not picking on the Indians, but I don't think they have the.
Well, that's that's another question.
Yeah.
Ask me if there are any exceptions for students with special needs in this program currently.
Oh.
No.
No.
There are
Well,
not.
you know, it's almost like unconstitutional what they're
Right, exactly.
taking away
Yeah.
the rights of
Yeah.
these kids that, you successfully completed all the academic requirements.
Here are some other people with other questions,
Yeah.
like the apprenticeship kind of
Yeah.
thing, or I want to join the family
Yeah.
business. What if your kid wants to be an independent artist or a musician?
Yeah.
What if they want to go to Hollywood and try to become an actor?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or an entrepreneur. I've got money saved up. I got
I-
an idea to start a business.
I would predict that you're going to have a lot of kids that didn't graduate.
You're going to have a lot of kids without diplomas.
Yeah, that's
Right,
it.
Exactly.
So what they do is
And
they
so
go,
then they won't get a job.
No.
Now they won't get a job because they don't have a
because
diploma.
Most want at least a high school.
or they'll find a way to go and get their GED.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
And so I don't know what you're accomplishing.
You're not.
it could make people seniors. In that case, well, I don't need. If that's the case, then I don't need to finish high school right now. I don't need
That's
to come
a-
back from
that's a good
Christmas
point,
vacation.
right.
I'll just go for my GED now and be done with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, break time here on Coffee and more coming up. Stick around.
If household finances are tight and you're having trouble paying the heating bills, the Good Neighbor Energy Fund may be able to provide assistance. Please contact a local CAP agency. Call United Way 211 or visit Rhode Ad sponsored by the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer, and I'd love to have you join me every Saturday for the Saturday Block Party. We start at 4 o'clock when I open up the ON Music Vault for you to pick whatever you want to hear or send to somebody special. Yes, the good old radio request days are back. Join me for the Saturday Block Party, Saturdays from 4 until 7 on ON Radio and streaming online at woonsocketradio.com.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
It's Coffee In on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow, Bill Murray. We were just talking about this, what other kids could do after graduating from high school. And the same thing, Bill, with my cousin. He's an electrician.
Yeah.
And he went, he apprenticed, learned everything he had to learn. He's out in Barrville now. He owns his own business.
Yep.
And owns his own home and has more work they possibly can handle.
That's
Yes,
correct.
because there's not enough people in the
Yep.
trades.
There are not
anymore.
enough. Now he's in
Very.
his early 50s, and he's looking. Okay, below him, who are the other young electricians coming up? And they aren't.
No.
He's like, there's not enough coming up.
there's not.
He goes, and so in 10 years, 20 years, there's going to be a real lack of electricians and plumbers and things like that. He goes, he's 54, I think.
Yeah.
And he goes, I can do this for another 10 years or so, but how much money he's going to have by then? He goes, I don't want to retire.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, and then what's everyone going to do?
Yeah, you'd be scraping the.
I know,
barrel.
and even now it's his name is Bob. Bob, we have a job for you. When can you get to it? 4 months.
Yeah.
It's like trying to see a doctor.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
It's
No.
like, I'm kind of busy right now, so I can get to it in 4 months.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like, wow, okay,
It's tough.
it is. Well, the Rhode Island Department of Health came out with their top 10 baby names for 2024,
Oh.
Yeah.
and when I look it over, it's like we're going back to some older names.
Old-fashioned names. Yep. Yeah.
For the women.
Like.
For the women, number 1 is Charlotte. Number 2 is Mia, M-I-A. Number 3, Amelia. That's an older
That's
name.
a very old-fashioned name. yeah.
Number 4 is Emma. Number 5 is Olivia. 6 is Sophia.
Wow.
7 is Ava.
I-
How many Avas do you know? AVA. 8 is Violet. 3 is, I think it's Maeve. Maeve.
That's common now
Yeah.
because I
Is
know
it
a
Maeve?
Maeve.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
You have it
couple of people in our family that
Okay.
kids have names like that. Yeah,
And number 10 is, I think it's Isla.
Isla.
Isla?
Never heard of it.
Isla?
Isla,
maybe.
Isla, maybe. Yeah.
Or Isla? Yes, it's silent. I don't know. But it's Isla.
Yeah,
For the guys, Liam is
I have,
one.
I have a Liam.
Okay. Number 2 is Lucas.
That's a common.
3 is Noah, like the Ark. All right.
Jeez,
4 is Theodore. Let's shorten that to Ted.
Ted. Yeah.
Number 5, which is odd because it's Luca. So we got Lucas and Luca
Luca.
Luca.
in the
Luca.
top 5. Yeah. Henry at 6. Amazing, huh? Oliver. That's an old
That's
name
a very
too.
old-fashioned name.
At 7, 8's a little more traditional. Michael. 9 more
Michael's
traditional
a big one.
is James, and 10 is Owen.
Owen.
That's the order from
Well,
the Rhode Island Department of Health.
Liam covers William, Will, and Bill.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because my son is William, and his son is William also Jr., but he's a Liam.
Liam.
But they call him Will.
Yeah.
So
Really?
Really?
I still call.
I like Liam.
I do too. I
just
call
keep
him
it there,
Liam.
keep
He
it at
doesn't.
Liam.
He doesn't not happy because when he's around his friends, I mean,
They
of
call him
course
Will.
27.
Yeah.
He'd rather be called Will.
Will.
And I
Interesting.
insist on calling him Liam. So
Well,
he's got a great.
That's your name.
That's it exactly. I like that.
Does
name.
your wife call him Liam?
Yeah, she does actually.
does?
Yeah, she
Okay.
does too. Because he's always been a Liam to us
Okay.
since he's been small.
Yeah.
that's Liam.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
That's a good name.
In
though.
fact, he's the one that worked for White House, and that's
Oh, yeah?
where Will's stuck down there because.
Did it?
Well, it does if like. I remember I had a nickname and I couldn't shake it until I came out of the, when I went into the service, and because when you go into a different environment, you know they don't know you except for the name you say I am,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so I think when he went in and worked with White House years back, that
Call himself Will.
he says I'm Will,
I'm Will.
and
Okay.
he-
Will it is.
and I make the mistake when I meet some of his friends, the White House people.
Yeah.
I'll go, yeah, Liam's doing who?
Who?
Yeah. Yeah.
They probably don't even know his real name is.
No, that's
is
true.
Liam.
That's true. No, they only know it by Will.
All right. This is where we come to on the college campuses. I hope my daughter doesn't take this kind of class. But University of Iowa, all right, is having a poetry course, and it's all inspired by Taylor Swift songs.
Oh boy.
Well, she is her own songwriter, and so okay, but what happened to Shakespeare
Yeah, right.
and Keats and
But,
Shelley?
but isn't there a course? Which college has a course in Taylor Swift?
University of Iowa.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, somebody around here.
I'm not sure.
No.
Now, according to a post on the school's account, Poetics is a new honors class that examines the poetic lyrics in Taylor Swift's music. Students use Swift's songs to improve rhythm, imagery, and sound within their own poetry. So they got to come up with their own, based on being inspired by Ms.
Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
Yes. It's listed in the university course catalog. It's a 3-credit honors course. So it's a tough course to take.
It's
It's an honors class.
Well, it should be a challenge because
Be a challenge for
she
me.
is probably the richest person around.
Yeah.
She's very-
Girl, yeah.
She's a very industrious young
Oh,
woman.
she is,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, she's-
and now a top football fan.
Yes, indeed.
Chiefs fan.
She,
Oh yeah, just cheap.
She doesn't like the other
Chiefs.
teams.
No, no.
yeah.
All right. Well,
Yep.
that's the latest, and I'm sure it'll be one of those classes. It'll be a sellout. It'll be one of
Oh,
those.
I'm
Where,
sure it
we're
will
only
be,
going to take
sure.
20 kids, maybe 30,
Sure.
and that's it. We can't have
Yeah.
any more. And if you're
Yeah.
31, you don't get into the
You
class.
don't get in. So
We're offering it once. So
We'll sort out.
I'm sure it is.
Interesting.
I wonder if some people will take it thinking this will be easy. Poetry's tough.
Oh, sure.
That's not easy. That's not a layup
No.
kind of class. So okay.
And some of these kids that look for that layup class quite a bit,
Some do.
you know.
I know I did.
Well,
But I did very well in my layup classes.
Good.
'Cause I took
Wasn't one of your skiing?
I took skiing.
Amazing. In the nursing world, you take no easy courses.
Well, it was,
None.
but it's also why I graduated. It took me 5 years to graduate from college.
Yeah, see?
Oh,
So
okay.
keep that in mind too.
All right, okay.
Well, I knew what kind of student I was. Not quite like my daughter.
So
You
I'm
must
so
make sure
I'm
you said
so
you're
I'm
right.
right in my
Absolutely
comment.
right.
See?
And
Gotta
so,
take after
you know,
the
she's
mother.
I'm finally right.
she's moving on
I
to
said it right away.
she's moving on to 15 credits a semester, which
Yeah.
is smart.
Yep.
That's very smart.
I
Yeah.
stayed.
Yeah.
I stayed at 13 credits a semester, which is why it took me an extra
Oh,
year
okay.
in a summer class to take as well, so I could graduate in 5 years. But yeah, I would take 4 real courses, and then my other I took besides skiing, I took tennis, I took volleyball.
What was your major?
I took golf.
What was your major?
Communications. I took CPR. That was another one.
Oh, that's
Well,
But that was good. I learned something there.
That's a good one.
I got all A's in all my one
Oh,
credit
did you?
one credit courses. You had to meet for 1 hour a week,
I never heard.
and we hit golf balls
Skiing,
into a net
golf.
because it was January.
Oh,
and,
boy.
And tennis, we went out and played tennis. And first day of skiing class. This is at Rhode Island College too. First day of skiing class, the instructor says, in order to pass the class, we're going skiing. And he had already booked it. And this is when Sunday River up in Maine was opening for the very first time.
Right.
They were brand new. He goes, we're going to Sunday River.
Right.
And we're going, it was like January 4th through the 10th. That was a little long. Maybe like the 4th through the 9th or the 8th or something like that. If you can't go, you need to drop the class. Well, kids had jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we saw about 6 or 7 kids drop the class.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't swing that time. So they just went away. So the entire course, we would meet class was 45 minutes to an hour once a week. And basically, the classroom stuff, talk about easy.
Yeah.
It was basically skiing etiquette. What to do out on the slopes. You don't run over people. You pass on the left if you can.
See?
You announce when you're passing people. We also went over how to dress.
Oh my
so you
God.
stay warm.
And you got how
I
many
got
credits did you get for that?
One. You got one credit.
one credit.
And I got an A.
You got an A.
And then
I hope so. I hope
then
so.
we went skiing for 4 days. And the ski instructor, the guy who was teaching us, who was on staff at Rhode Island College, Professor Taylor, I remember him. He was in the phys ed department. He had one day he had to watch you ski, like one run,
geez.
and as long as you could get down the mountain and didn't fall,
By being polite.
you had to be
You had to be
polite. That's
polite.
right. And get an A.
More people should take that course.
We had 25 people go up and
25 people.
we all get it. No, someone didn't get an A. I remember this. We felt bad
How
for him.
could you not get an A?
Well, as soon as we got there, remember it's January and in Maine and it's cold, he immediately got sick. I mean, went right to
Yeah.
bed and couldn't move.
Oh,
So we all skied for the days, and he couldn't get out of bed, and he barely made it onto the bus to
boy.
come home. Well, the rule was you had to ski, and he didn't. So he got a B plus
B plus.
B plus.
Well, but
because
he
he
was polite.
couldn't. He got A in all our written tests.
Yep.
Didn't have to write a paper. That was good, but yeah,
You had a test. You
we actually
had
took
tests,
tests and quizzes. Yeah,
final exams and everything.
the final exam was
Oh, was it
was
skiing?
was
Was
skiing.
it skiing?
That was the final exam,
Oh,
and he couldn't make it to the final exam. He was
very
too
different
sick.
when I went to college.
No.
You probably could have taken this. This was great.
Yeah, no, we didn't have that.
That was-
No,
that was-
no,
There were no one credit card.
no skiing.
No.
It was interesting. We're going ski. Great, and there's new place. This is going to be
But
great.
golf, boy, that was quite a career you had. You know?
It was a good
Yeah.
career. Golf,
Yeah.
golf, tennis, volleyball,
Oh boy.
skiing. So there's four or
credits.
five right there. Yeah, and they were easy A's. I knew I was going to get A's.
I get.
I would yes.
Yeah.
And there was a friend of mine in the tennis class that I took at Rhode Island College, and volleyball I took at Boise State, by the way. But anyway, I took tennis, and a friend of mine was in the class. We worked together at McCoy Stadium, and I beat him on the tennis courts. at Rhode Island College, and he was so angry at himself. He goes, "We're going to play again in the summertime."
Yeah.
Because he goes, "I know I can beat you." Okay, we'll play again.
Yeah.
And we went to Slater Park
Yep.
in Pawtucket, and I beat him again.
You beat him.
and he was furious.
He wasn't happy.
We didn't play again after that.
Yeah,
Quite
yeah.
the athlete you are.
I
Quite the
well,
athlete.
I was pretty good. I was good at tennis.
Well, I coached him, not in tennis.
Not in tennis though.
There you go. Not in
See?
tennis.
Yeah.
Baseball.
But then
baseball and hockey.
but I've told this story before. I dated a girl who was on the Smithfield High School tennis team. They didn't have a girls' team.
Yeah.
She played on the boys' team
Wow.
against the guys.
Mm-hmm.
She was good.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how good she was. And I said, "We should play tennis sometime." She goes, "We can, Joe." He goes, "But I'm telling you, I'm really rather good. I've been playing since she was little, always against her father, who didn't let me lose.
Right.
Didn't let me win, I should
Did
say."
win, yeah.
Okay, and we went to Bryant University and played tennis.
yeah,
And
she
oh my God.
Kicked your butt.
Kicked my butt
Yeah.
back. I don't think she broke a sweat.
Yeah.
She just stood there and hit the
Oh,
ball.
there
I
you
am
go.
running left, right, back and up, down, back.
Yeah.
And, it was embarrassing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Go
oh
with
my
Gene King,
God.
right?
Oh, she was terrific.
Yeah.
All right. That'll do it for the show for today. We thank you very much for listening in. Happy New Year, everyone. And Linda,
Happy New Year.
Appreciate you coming in all year. That's been great. And Bill Murray, thanks for filling in for Ed Crew. Happy
Well,
New
it
Year
was
to
a
you.
pleasure. Happy New Year to everyone, and a safe and healthy one.
All right, very good. Stay tuned. Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember this coming your way at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee says cyber criminals have now released some